US and Colombia out of danger of trade war.
South Korean president officially charged with insurrection.
Nậm Cắn international border gate bustling at the end of the year.
You are watching today's news on NTV. My name is Nguyễn Thị and I will be your guide through today's latest update. The United States and Colombia pull back from the brink of a trade war after the White House announced that the Bogota government agreed to accept military aircraft carrying deported migrants.
Earlier, U.S. President Donald Trump had ordered a 25% tariff on all Colombian goods imported into the U.S. This rate set to increase to 50% in a week. The United States will also revoke visas of Colombian government officials. After President Gustavo Petro banned migrant deportation flights from the U.S. from landing in Colombia. The statement means Colombia could become the first country sanctioned by U.S. President Donald Trump for immigration, marking the first time Trump has used economic pressure to force another country to adhere to his mass deportation plan since he took office last week. However, in a statement late on January 26, the White House said Colombia had accepted no restrictions on migrants from Colombia and allowed them to repatriate, including on U.S. military aircraft, and Washington would put Colombia tariff sanctions threat on hold after deportations deal.
South Korea's arrested President Yun Soyol has been formally indicted on charges of leading an insurrection when he briefly imposed martial law in December. This is the first time in South Korean history that a sitting president has been prosecuted.
Mr. Yoon's indictment means that his trial is likely to start soon. The South Korean prosecutor's office also announced today that they will continue to detain President Yoon when his detention period expires. Previously, prosecutors also indicted the former Minister of Defense and several military and police generals on charges of supporting Mr. Yoon in carrying out the insurrection. Observers believe that this decision by the prosecutor's office is not only detrimental to the president personally but also escalates political tensions. The South Korean Constitutional Court is currently considering whether the impeachment by the National Assembly is legal. If the court concludes that it was a legal decision, Mr. Yoon will be dismissed from the presidency, and if the impeachment decision is deemed illegal, he will be reinstated.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính had just signed an official dispatch asking for caring and supporting workers on construction site during the Lunar New Year or Tet holiday 2025.
Accordingly, during the Tet holiday, thousands of workers on key projects such as the Long Ton International Airport project and the T3 passenger terminal at Tan Son Nhut International Airport continue to work day and night to ensure the construction progress. The Prime Minister commended the efforts of the agencies, units and workers in maintaining the progress and quality of the projects. At the same time, he requested that ministries, branches, localities and investors take care of the material and spiritual lives of workers, ensuring that workers have a warm Tet holiday. Labor agencies should pay special attention to workers in difficult circumstances, especially those in areas affected by natural disasters and floods. The dispatch also emphasized the implementation of measures to ensure labor safety, prevent accidents, and ensure hygiene and fire prevention throughout the construction process.
Coming up next are some updated news.
According to updated data from the ASEAN Secretariat, Vietnam led the region in tourism recovery in 2024 by attracting 17.6 million international visitors, reaching 98% of the 2019 pre-COVID-19 level. Vietnam currently ranks third in the region for international visitors, after Thailand, 35 million visitors, and Malaysia, 24.5 million visitors. Vietnam also recorded impressive achievements in attracting sustainable tourism and protecting the environment. A report from Agoda shows that Vietnam and Malaysia are the two leading countries in the region in terms of bookings for sustainable tourism tours. With these achievements, The Vietnamese tourism industry aims to welcome 22 to 23 million international visitors in 2025.
The Standing Committee of Nghệ An Province announced its conclusion on the timeline for streamlining the organizational structure. Accordingly, Nghệ An Province will complete the reorganization of party organizations as well as provincial and district-level party organizations before February 15th. For district level, the reorganization must be also completed before February 15, 2025. For the reorganization of government agencies, the Provincial People's Council and the district-level People's Councils will hold meetings to pass resolutions and announce decisions on the reorganization of the government agencies apparatus before February 21, 2025.
During the Lunar New Year 2025, the Nghệ and provincial trade unions allocated nearly 40 billion Vietnamese dongs to support over 40,000 workers and laborers in difficult circumstances. The total amount of support was drawn from the funds of the Vietnam General Confederation of Labor, the Provincial Labor Confederation and the grassroots trade unions. The TET support programs included free shopping vouchers, gifts, and direct subsidies for needy workers. The activities included supporting 3,500 free shopping vouchers worth 1.75 billion Vietnamese dongs and 500 gift packages for workers. In addition, the Provincial Labor Confederation also provided direct support to over 2,000 needy workers. With a total amount of nearly 2 billion Vietnamese dongs, these programs bring great encouragement for workers throughout the province to have a warmer Tet holiday.
The final days of the lunar year, the Nậm Cắn international border crossing is busier than usual, with a sharp increase in the number of people and vehicles entering the country. The functional forces are focusing on ensuring tight control, but also create convenient conditions for people to go home for the Tet holidays.
These days, international bus trips between Vietnam and Laos see an increase to meet the travel need in the days leading up to Tet. On average, there are about 2 passenger buses from Laos to Vietnam via the Nậm Cắn border crossing each day. But recently there have been over 6 trips. The number of private vehicles crossing the border is also higher. And with Tet approaching, almost every vehicle is carrying as much goods as possible.
I bought some bottle of wine or some cakes and sweets to my friends and relatives.
Recently, the functional forces at the Nậm Cắn international border crossing have detected many cases of smuggling prohibited goods from Laos into Vietnam. Therefore, with the increase in the number of people and vehicles entering the country before Tet, the functional forces at the border crossing have been strengthened to conduct inspections and control at all stages.
The functional forces strive for tight control, however. They must also ensure the clearance of goods, preventing congestion at the border crossing and creating maximum convenience for people to return home for the Tet holiday.
One of the pressures on the Nậm Cắn border crossing is the very large number of transport trucks transiting daily. Each day, 100 to 130 vehicles pass through the border gate on average. This takes up a lot of time for customs clearance and puts a lot of pressure on the transport infrastructure as well as daily traffic safety, especially during this Tet holiday.
The last news has ended our bulletin today. Thanks for your watching and see you next time.